Hi, my name's Bryce. Welcome back to VHS Play, where we are playing... I love that sound. It is my childhood right there. Anyway. We are playing The King of Dragons. Press start. We won't be pressing start because I'm going to let the track mode play through while I get through my ramble stuff. Hey, so yeah, my name's Bryce. This is VHS Play. I record games on VHS because I think it looks neat, but also because it acts as a nostalgia filter because, much like VHS footage, memories are not quite the same color, shape, run at the same speed, all that other shenanigans and stuff. Whatever. I'm going to skip over that because this game moves kind of fast. Generally, we do have a little bit of time at the start, actually, that I do need to film. The Red Dragon Gildis has crushed Peace, capital Peace, under his iron tail. He must be stopped. So yeah, we get our attract mode, we get our little bits of story, our character introductions. His fiercest ally is a sword, but when it comes to the magic, he prefers to leave that to the guys in bathrobes. Although unable to use edged weapons, he takes pride in his powerful defensive abilities and can advance his level quickly. So there's your fighter and your cleric. Here's the scoreboard that, exists and is cleared every time you start the game back up. Anyway, well, hey, this is The King of Dragons. It is a Super Nintendo game based off of I guess, judging by the copyright there, a 1991 arcade game of the same name, which is actually featured in a more recent release of Capcom beat-em-up collection stuff. It might just be called like Capcom All-Stars Beat-em-up Collection or something. I don't remember. But anyway, there's a fresh version of the old arcade version, which is great. It is super good that this stuff exists. Well, I've heard that the villages are being decimated by rampaging monsters. The folk of the northern castle are especially in trouble. But yeah, why am I playing this and not that? Reasons. He may be slow to move and not too handy with a sword, but after he's garnered a little experience, only the foolhardy would mess with him or something. Ever nimble, he can pick off enemies from a distance with his bow. When it comes to close range, however, he is not much use. Can't take much abuse? I don't know. The screens go really fast, and if I'm not on the ball reading it already as it's coming in, then it's gone. Okay, we've got one more round of attract mode before I actually get started playing the heckin' game. So let's get through this intro. Super Nintendo version of an arcade game from the 90s. It's one of those games I just love. Like, this game is just super fun to play. Also, spoilers game, God. This is just like, it's just a really, really solid game, but like the Super Nintendo version in particular, this was before we got modern era collections of beat-em-up games and the like. And these arcade games, when you have like infinite continues, you do lose a sense of what the arcade game felt like to play. You just, like, there is just something missing there. The dwarf, though small, he is 100% pure muscle and can handle the harshest punishment. Kind of a slow, steady, well, punch stuff. Also, here's magic. Meteor, thunderbolt, firewall, frog, and jewelry. Okay, so we're out of attract modes to go through. That's the whole 5 characters. So I guess I'll get started and continue talking about why stuff, because here's the plan. This week, it's The King of Dragons. I think we're going to do it's probably going to turn into like 2 playthroughs. Also, I'm going to turn on manual shield because I just like it. This is not something that you could do in the arcade version as far as I'm aware. If you have a character with a shield, they will block somewhat at random, some amount of like you not attacking. Also, I'm having to like move the cursor here to not let attract mode play through again. Okay. Anyway, who am I playing as? We have like 10 seconds to decide. Elves kind of interesting, fighters kind of neat. I'm gonna go with my classic of the Cleric. This is who I played as a kid all the time. I would often play this in like multiplayer mode with friends, and like more often than not, like there was me playing Cleric and a friend playing Wizard or Elf, which is just like, it's a good combination. In classic, like, arcade beat 'em up game, you got just attacks, you got jumps, you got jump attacks, which here the jump attacks don't do much. I didn't mean to hit that. You've also got an absolutely banging soundtrack. There we go. There's some magic stuff. You also have a button that you can hit that will take some of your health and use it to do a big old special attack move, which we'll show off here in a second. Anyway, so as I was rambling, you do just kind of lose something in, like, modern ports of these arcade classics, where you have infinite continues and all of that stuff. What makes the Super Nintendo version special is that you have, like, you can see down there, I have, like, P = 5, that's, like, how many lives I have left, and if you look in the bottom right of the screen, there's, like, a whole credit = 2 thing. So I've got 5 lives and 2 continues, which is, like, that gives you a fair shake in trying to get through the game. Become a spark. And there we go, leveling up, because that's what happens. You'll also see me stopping at pillars that block the screen to, like, attack upwards, because you can find continues tucked away back there. Yeah, I was way too close for that. If you've been around here for any amount of time, you know that I am, in fact, a big old nerd. So, like, this, you know, very high fantasy themed... This high fantasy themed beat 'em up is very much of my liking. Let's get him back on screen where I can hit him. Watch out for that charge. There we go. But what's also fun about this one is that your characters have levels and experience and equipment and all of that stuff. And your experience, like your score, is actually your experience value. So, like, all of these jewels and gold and stuff that I'm picking up, those are actually adding to my experience total. And as they mentioned in the like pre-roll introduction of character stuff, the Cleric levels quickly, and this is honestly largely based off of ye old Dungeons and Dragons, where that was the case. Like, for whatever reason, Clerics leveled faster than, like, all the other classes. I don't remember why. And it wasn't all of them, but it was a lot of them. So, like, every character has, like, their own feel, their own vibe, their own, like, growth rate. So, like, you have these 5 characters, and they actually, like, feel quite different to play, even though, like, you've got 3 which are guy with weapon and shield, and 2 which are guy with range attack. But, like, there's actually an amount of difference and uniqueness to each of them. Heck. What also makes this one a lot of fun is that it's like, I don't know, it feels really... That was entirely my fault. And, like, that's the thing. Like, that's exactly what I was about to say. It's just, like, it's very much, like... Dang it. I keep going in too early. It feels really well balanced in terms of, like, you just not having to lose health a lot of the time. Like, there's... I don't know, I'm sure if you've played any beat-em-up game, there's always, like, an amount of just, like, that just felt really cheap. There we go, I leveled up on him, and I did, like, constant damage. It's not much damage, but it's just, like, a little constant barrage of damage. So that's the whole, like, shield thing, which, again, in the arcade mode, or if you don't have shield set to manual, then it will just kind of, like, randomly do the shield thing as long as you're not attacking, and, like, there seems to be some degree of, like, if you're, like, moving away from attacks, then your shield will come up. Anyway, like, I've always really liked this game for feeling much more fair than other arcade brawlers. Like, there's always just, like, the things that just, like, this just feels like a health... You know, this is just like paying a health tax just to be here. I know! Shield can block attacks, but it doesn't block grabs. You also see me, like, grabbing all this gold around the arena right before the end of the level. If you don't grab that before you, like, pick up your weapon, or, like, you only have a little bit before the level ends, so you need to move fast to pick up your stuff. Ah, the wolf escaped. My experience. Oh, that was them. That one was, in fact, a mimic, actually. And we got slimes. Oh. So those freezing traps are the classic hit buttons real fast to get out. Works. They're beating me up real bad. There we go. Heck. I got. Oh, interesting. I forgot that they did this in, I'm willing to guess they had to do this to run this game on Super Nintendo hardware. In the arcade version, all three heads are on screen fighting at the same time. They have to pull one back and hold it for halfway through the fight. But my gold! Hooray, an extra life, I think? I think that's what that jingle was. There we go, jeez. red dragon Gildas has risen from his long slumber. The northern folks are overrun with monsters. I also just, like, love the whole, like, having this big world map and, like, getting the sense of a grand adventure across this fantasy world. I don't know, this is just, like, one of those games that I've just always really loved. It's just, like, I don't know, it's just, like, one of those games that just kind of seems to have always been in my collection. Like, I have no idea where it came from, when it came from. It was just kind of there. The giant in the shrine. Go quick. It's not the direction I'd like that to go. Overall, it's just like, this is just like one of those games that's just like, it's just fun to play. And while, like, I do prefer the Super Nintendo version for, like, having the, like, it's the whole live system thing, which, you know, it's definitely, lives are way out of style. And most people hate them. Like, and there's reason to. It's kind of crummy. To have, like, this whole... To have, like, you know, this weird, like, you get this many tries, and if you screw up, then you have to start over sort of thing. But, like, it kind of works for games as short as these. Good lord, they are... Skeletons do not heck around, jeez. I should have left that. And there we go. My hubris. One hit. It was, in fact, just one more hit. Alright, we're gonna double check this pillar. And this one too. Alright, welcome to the pillar checking nightmare level. Where you just gotta check all the pillars. Like, overall, those continues are actually, like, really important later on, because, like, while I've said for the most part this game actually, like, it feels very fair in its combat design, and, like, how, you know, the enemies have attacks that you can read, that you can usually react to in some fashion. There still are, like, a lot of times where you just get cornered by skeletons, and they kick the crap out of you, and you just lose 2 lives. That was a mimic. Speaking of skeletons, There it is. Alright, so this is where you start feeling the Cleric's lack of offensive capabilities. They kind of allude to it, but, like, they don't tell you outright. That, like, yeah, he's got big defense, he's got good health, but Cleric does not deal a whole heck of a lot of damage. His non-edged weapons thing, which is, you know, very much like advanced Dungeons and Dragons sort of things. Sure. And skeletons, why you hit so hard? Jeez. There we go. Nice, mostly clean kill. I don't know, like, this is just like one of those games that's like also in terms of just, you know, it's a Capcom Super Nintendo game from the 90s. It's gorgeous, it's got a great soundtrack, it's one of those just like easily exceptional, easily really fun games. Like Capcom just, they were knocking it out of the park, just flat out. Like everything that they did for the Super Nintendo pretty much was just like perfect, just no notes. I got mimicked. You know what? Nope. I was about to say, let's go ahead and just throw some lightning at these skeletons since they hit for way harder. I got slimed. Alright, there we go. So, right now lives, and what's always kind of nice about that is, like, when you game over, you leave behind a magic orb of some sort, which, if you're playing two-player, is a nice little help to whoever you left behind. Or if you respawn in, then it's a... Sorry, I'm focusing. Like, if you do continue, then you have, like, this nice bonus just kind of sitting there for you of just like, okay. So, you died here. You were probably having some sort of trouble here. Let's give you this, magic orb so that you can, you know, get back in and get, like, right back into the action and clear things out and have, like, a nice little victory moment after your loss. Oh, thanks, buddy. I heard the red dragon is in the northern castle. Well, you better take this with you. Don't know why the great tree sounds like Goofy, but I think it's because of the hey, buddy. I know, Capcom's one of those game studios that has a largely really stellar record across almost the entirety that they've been around. It's like, I think there was maybe a little bit there in, like... meant to guard, but I luckily just didn't get hit. I don't know, I want to say, like, in the range of, like, the 2010s or something, that... It's kind of when, like, every major studio was just kind of making... games that weren't quite landing, and, like, budgets had just, like, ballooned way, way, way too much. Get hecked, archers. Ah, yes. Broke a box, leveled up. I'm going a little bit magic crazy there because I do have this health potion, which is significant. It's like they have all the foods that are like pretty strong, like they're not bad refills whatsoever. But then you have like that potion. I don't know, anyway, that time I'm thinking of was like around the time of like Resident Evil 6. It was like in that couple of years right there. It's just like every major studio was like kind of fumbling with like making games that were just like way too huge and cost way too much, and they were expecting to earn more money than God off of their franchise. And it's just like, oh yeah, the sales were disappointing because they weren't, you know, 8 bajillion. And luckily, like, most studios backed away from that form of of development, it seems. And I think kind of after that, we had a lot of the various studios kind of going back to basics of just like, hey, I think you can see that little... no, it's just a frog magic. There was that golden chest kind of sticking out from around the pillar. Sometimes you can actually see the... dang it! You can actually see the... continued chests, like, peeking around whatever is obscuring them. This is, like, the shortest time from boss to mid-boss in all of history. Hey, another continue. We might actually beat this. I wasn't expecting to. But we got lucky with continues, and there's a lot of... There's a surprising amount of game left, and things do start hitting real dang hard here in a bit. Or just, you know, skeletons happen, and rip. Or you just get impaled with a spear. Oh, that was a mean ice trap there. Let's leave that health around for a bit. Come on. Okay, fine. I didn't call it out, but it was an option in that starting screen options menu that I am playing the game on normal difficulty. There are 3 difficulties, which is kind of surprising for its day, honestly. But having like an easy, medium, and like an easy, normal, hard mode, or I think it's even just called like easy, normal, expert. Don't shuriken me, bro. I think he's gonna kill me in one hit anyway. Might as well get that extra damage out. Ah, dang. Probably like 1 hit away. 3. Take that, Black Knight. Princess Mary from the fortress has been abducted by monsters. Won't you go with me to help save her? So as you can see, like, that did kind of chunk out a lot of health for me. Or, are you done, Mummy? Okay. Okay, look, I think it's a credits chest. Yep. You can see it barely peeking out there. Ow! Ow! About to get hit by that skeleton, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, sure. Let's crack open another bit of magic. It's one of those bosses that like either goes really well or really terribly. And, like, I think so much of it comes down to just, like, being in the right position. And it's like, if you end up in, like, just the wrong position, in the wrong cycle, then they'll start throwing a lot of size, and they'll just, like, start hitting you when they're flying by. And it's just like, you can just get out of rhythm, basically. Let's just finish that off with magic. Battle in the fort. Music in this game is so good. More skeletons, heck. Anyway, so this game has been on my mind, like, I don't remember when they started saying it in The Legend of Dragoon, but like they did start just saying like the King of Dragons, and every single time, I like my brain would just see and hear the title screen for this game, and it's been on my mind since, in a real big way. I got them proper brainworms about it. Screw you, archers. That was another mimic. Got me. Man, like, Capcom was just on fire in the SNES era. Just everything was just like gorgeous pixel art, incredible soundtracks, just top tier gameplay. And like, yeah, sure, this is a remake of an arcade game, which I didn't know for the longest time. There is certainly an amount of, like, I was a kid and didn't think about such things, and had never seen a Flight of Dragons, you know, arcade machine. Like, how cool is this boss, like, enemy design, though? Just, like, here's an armored, like, dragon lizardman guy who does like neat dive bombs. He has like one of those weird segmented whip swords, the Great Dragonian. Giant sword, gold armor, black wings, big old Nito shield. Gets killed by lightning and catching on blue fire and fading out into existence. And you got Mary over there looking rad as heck. You saved me, but the Northern Castle has fallen to monsters. Will you give us your aid? I think that's what that said. Text goes fast. Oh, these guys. I always feel bad for them, just like instantaneously mid-bossed. I think in the arcade version, they actually, no, the skeletons have red swords, gold wolves, perhaps even foxes. You know what, let's just, lightning. It's like I was saying, like, you can start losing lives real fast in this game. So, like, all of those credits that I've been banking, I might start ticking through them real hard here because, oh man, right at the next healing bit. Let's just go ahead and drop 2 bits of lightning and then grab my apple. You guys always feel like they cheat, and that they have like a shared health pool, probably. So it's like focusing on one never seems to kill them at like the halfway point. It's always like at the 75% roughly. Dark Wizard. Oh, that was a mimic. God, these dudes are little experience balloons, apparently. I'm just focusing really hard because, like, trying to read his attacks. He's only got the 2, but it's like they're so fast that you just have like so little time to react. And like if you're not right there to get that hit in. There we go. We did it! We defeated the Dark Wizard. The princess.
So you dare rebel against your master Gildas? I'll destroy you with my black magic.
Heck. You got me. My magic does less damage to me than it does, than your magic does. There we go. Now we've defeated the Dark Wizard for real this time. By the way, you can, in fact, not pick up your treasure in time, and if you do that, then you just don't get your upgrade. Ow! Do not freeze me. So the Sahagin we kind of skipped over because I turned them all into frogs on the ship. Okay, I cannot use magic at this health total. That's fine. We're just gonna die and continue and hit that orb. Oh geez, they're still alive. And they're still kicking the crap out of me. So 100%, me as a kid would not have, like, picked up on, like, any of the attack patterns and, like, whatnot. Very much would have been button mashing as a kid, but, like, coming at this as an adult and, like, you know, high pattern recognition, all that junk. Shortest weapon time. Immediately upgraded to level 8 weapon. That's a big ol' hammer. See over there, Gold Wolf? It's another wyvern. I know. Don't grab me. Ah, heck. Like, I really don't mind the boss reuse in this. Like, it is 100% just like, hey, here's, you know, the same, like, character what you fought before. But this one's an ice wyvern. So instead of that fire, or like, instead of his breath burning me and just dealing a ton of damage, it freezes me instead. Which opens me up to the other attacks of the wyvern himself, and also these lizard guys that are now spawning in. Which does mix up the fight a fair amount. Ow! Can kind of get ice locked.
Thank you. Now I can live in peace. If you're looking for Gildas, I think you should go to this cavern. Underground Labyrinth.
Big shield. So I think that is now max level shield and max level weapon. That is a big old apple. I think it's an apple. Ow! Ow! Stop it! Not the skeletons, they hurt. I don't know. There's always just something about, like, a good 2D brawler. And, like, one that really resonates you with, like, both the theme and the gameplay. And that's what King of Dragons is for me. It's just, like, it just really hits the notes that I want. Of, like, it's got a great theme, it's got a great look. I adore the gameplay. I like walk backwards. Oh, hey. If I hold B, I keep facing forward. Interesting. I never knew that. I have discovered new technology, new gameplay tech for this game. Hold B to like keep facing the same direction. That's pretty cool.
Golden Limestone Cave.
So this is the final level, and I've got a heck of a lot of credits still. Stepped in slime like a chump. I saw you wiggling over there, chest. Got the sea of gold.
You mere human think that you can defeat the mighty Gildas. Well, come on then, I'll charbroil your bones.
Yep. Sure did. So that's like 2 hits and I'm dead. So, I guess I should actually like show off some interesting stuff about this fight that I've learned at some point. If you like try to go over there and get behind the head, the arm comes out to grab you like that. No! I didn't do anything! Leave me alone! I do really love the whole, like, him... Jeez. Cannot dodge that fire. No! I do love, like, when he flies a little bit, like, the wind pushes you down to the bottom of the screen. That's just like that's just neat. It is like really kind of sells the scale of this thing that, you know, they can't put all of it on screen. Yeah, that's fair. Every time his tail slams down, it shakes the entire screen. Don't have enough health to cast magic to avoid that. The music goes all double-timey. One more level for the road. No! since I have all this health suddenly. Cleric defeated the Red Dragon. I did it. That went way better than I was expecting it to, quite frankly. I guess for next time we'll put it on an expert and try a different character.
Although the heroes received many wounds, they were finally able to defeat the Red Dragon. Now their country would know peace again. Standing in the cavern of Gildas's treasure hoard, they were nearly blinded by the sparkle of gold. As they stood looking at their hard-won haul, they looked as though they could see new adventures reflected in each precious gem.
Anyway, so that's the King of Dragons. It's real neat. We'll do another one. Oh hey, I don't think the arcade version doesn't get this. We get we get a boss parade. Hooray! Anyway, this is just like one of those games from my childhood, what I think is a lot of fun. And it's been on my mind a lot recently because of Legend of Dragoon saying the King of Dragons, and just like that apparently is like an activation phrase for me, and I just can see the title screen, and it's just like, I could really go for another round of King of Dragons. Like we're about an hour into recording, and that's with me letting the attract mode play through like all of the start. Poor dwarf getting grabbed by the Cyclops. It's like, yeah, it's just like a short game to not outstay its welcome. It has like a theme that really vibed with me as a kid, and still does, honestly. Like I am a sucker for dumb fantasy nonsense, and like stuff's neat. Games are fun, as it turns out. Games can just be dumb fun, and they don't have to have way too many systems that don't work. Sorry, trying. Anyway, let's not go down that road again. But yeah, this game is just dumb fun, and it brings the feel. Like, this is the thing that I'm really struggling with in terms of like, how do I feel about the live system? Because like, I don't know, I feel like there's still merit and value in a live system, and we've just thrown it all out because people don't like it. And fair, like, very fair that they don't like live systems, because it is kind of crummy to like be playing through a game and then like run out of lives and then just have to start over or like redo all of this stuff again. And I mean, if you look at any, like, either of the Resident Evil series, please don't, they're terrible audio, but also please do, because, you know, look at my videos, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, like, the Resident Evil games that I've played, like, every time that is, like, I come up against a final boss or a boss that I just get stuck on for a bit, it just sucks. It's just like, okay, cool, I have to, like, just redo, like, the last 5 minutes of puzzle and cutscene and whatever, and, like, putting the doodad in the place, and we'll just go, bah. Thank you for your playing. Interesting, there's no credits in this, actually. That's not something I realized. There is actually like a credits roll in the arcade version, or at least if the game collection is to be believed. But yeah, this game's fun. I'm going to play it again. We'll turn it up to expert. I'll either do the wizard or the elf just to get like a really different style of play. And yeah, we'll do that for the rest of this week. But anyway, like, I don't know. I'm still trying to suss out how I feel about the whole live system and everything, because like I feel like it really works for this sort of game of like an arcade feel, and without credits and without lives, you just kind of, you lose some aspect of this game where it's like your health is no longer like a precious resource that you need to keep as well as you can. It turns into just like, well, why don't I just mash the magic button? Like, I can just sit here and mash the magic button and lose all my life and whatever, but I have infinite continue, so it doesn't matter. So I don't know, like, that's kind of what I'm struggling with and like grappling with and trying to figure out like exactly how I feel about this. But man, this neato this neato title screen that's just like really a short introduction and just like the king bam 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 of dragons. It's, I don't know, it's just seared in my brain apparently. Anyway, let's wrap things up. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Bryce. This has been VHS Play. Have yourself a lovely evening.